Zach Piano Solo, he's recently dropped down to Class 4. Are you getting on at the right time?
Well, the right time's coming. Whether it's going to be this week or the next start or the start after that, we'll just have to wait and see. But he's been a really difficult horse from the first time he arrived in Hong Kong. He's very headstrong. Just couldn't hold him early on in the mornings. He was running away with all the riders. And it's taken a long time to get him to relax and settle and start to accept the place and how Danny's wanted to train him. So he's progressively just got that little bit better, and he's more manageable in his races now, but he's certainly the type of horse that you don't want to set alight early on in the race and then you can't get him to come back. So he's a horse that needs things to fall into place for him. And then he's got a little bit of a turn of foot, but he's quite one-paced. So I believe he might want a longer distance, might want further. But the reason he hasn't been able to get there so far is because of his racing manners.
So how did he settle for you last time, and what did you think of that run overall?
I thought he settled pretty well. And I thought the run was nice enough, but he just couldn't get rolling coming into the straight. He was held up behind some horses that weren't really bringing him into the race. And then he had to sprint off that, which he, like I said, he does a little bit, and then he becomes really flat-footed, really one-paced. So if he can just get rolling into the race a little bit earlier, I think that will probably suit him.
The recent trial, were you satisfied with the way that he ran through the line?
Yeah, I was. It's probably the first time that he's run right through the line. So he is giving the indication that he's starting to come to hand.
And just from Piano Solo to yourself, last week you missed out on the majority of Happy Valley due to a back issue. How do you feel now?
I feel pretty good. I was very lucky that I had access to the physios at Union Hospital and the doctors there as well, and we got on top of things, obviously straight away. And it's normally it takes 10 days until it starts to settle down and feel good, but through the use of the machines and the techniques and everything that they've done for me there, we've been able to get on top of it a lot quicker, which is good. Still a little bit stiff and a little bit sore, but it's not too bad. And hopefully in a few more days and by the end of the weekend, be pain-free again.
That must have been a painful win then on Red Majesty.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. At least he won. Would have been more painful if he ran second.
Blake, Harmony and Blessed, he's a horse you've had a bit to do with right throughout this season. What do you make of his chances for Wednesday night?
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance. His last run at Happy Valley over 1200 was quite solid, I thought. He set a good tempo in front, went pretty quick, but that's his natural pattern. Just got overhauled by a couple of classy horses, and he's back to 1,000 metres with the benefit of that run off a little bit of a layoff. I think should suit him down to the ground.
He looked like a horse that had a fair bit of ability, what he did earlier on in the season, but he hasn't won since December. Has he been a bit disappointing? Has he plateaued at all?
Look, not really. I think the horse's form's been fairly consistent, but as he's gone up in class, when he's got that racing pattern, when he's got to do it at both ends, it's hard for a horse, especially when he's having to absorb that pressure. But I honestly believe he's going to make his way up into the ratings, hopefully, quite high up in the ratings, I think. So certainly haven't reached the bottom of this horse, and hopefully tomorrow night he can show his true form.
And from a wide draw tomorrow night, then, do you use the speed that he's got?
Definitely, yes. He's a natural running horse. That's his best attribute. He's a very strong horse. I think we just fire him out, see how it unfolds. Doesn't have to lead, but I'd love if he can find the rail and he corners very well, and that's one of his best assets. And if he can do that, I reckon he'll take a power beating.
And congratulations for yourself, a double on Sunday, your first double in Hong Kong. That must mean a bit to you.
Yeah, it certainly does. It was quite satisfying. It's been a hard road to get to where we got to on the weekend, but I've toughed it out, and to ride a winner for David Hayes and Casper Founds, both of those guys have stuck really solid by me since I've been in Hong Kong. So it was great to win for those guys, and let's hope it can keep rolling on from here on in.
Do you feel the ball is now bouncing your way?
Starting to, I feel, it's starting to pick up a little bit. I feel I'm learning more about the racing and the little intricacies of Hong Kong, and I think the results are starting to show that. So let's hope we can just keep forging forward from here.
Joe Greenluck, he's a horse that you know well. You rode him last time out over 1,800 metres. He's been freshened up since then, back to 1,650. What do you make of his chances?
Chance is good. Last time, as you indicate, he runs pretty well, and apparently he's shown in the past that he's up to the class. We just gotta hope that things go smooth during the race. If he brings his A game, he's no doubt's a good winning chance.
Last time out he ran well behind a couple of good horses over 1,800, but his wins have all been over 1,650. Is this where he does his best racing?
Well, the form indicates that, so hopefully we're not wrong about it, and hopefully, as I said, it's all about, is he really gonna get a smooth run? The gate is not too bad. He should have every chance from there. If the race is not like fast and they hold back and stop and go once again, it's all about how the race is going to be playing out. So if it's a smooth run, I think he's got a good winning chance.
So does he not need a good, genuine tempo right the way through the race?
He needs a smooth run. I wouldn't say a fast run race, but I would say he can't be getting interruptions or held up. If that happens during the race, his chances deteriorate quite a bit. So I'm hoping for a smooth run.
Casper's putting the blinkers on him. He hasn't worn them in a race for over a year. What do you make of that?
Probably because it's bringing him back in distance, and he might want to have him a little bit closer from the front runners. I trust Casper, and I think if he's doing that, putting the blinkers back on the horse, that he thinks the horse needs it. So I'm with him on the same page.
Congratulations on a great day on Sunday as well, Joe. 3 winners on 3 promising 3-year-olds. What was your highlight from Sunday?
Career wonder, no doubts. First time up in the great races against some of the best horses in town. Being 3 years old only, that no doubt gets me very excited for the near future.
Majestic star, Joe. You won on him last time out. You'd rid him at the trials leading into that race. What were your thoughts on that win?
He had obviously a perfect run through. He had the best gait on the day, clear run on the straight. Everything was perfect. He definitely needs the same thing, going the same way again. If he does get a smooth run as well, no doubt he's a good enough horse to be winning once again.
He's only a young horse. He raced in Australia prior to coming over here. That was just his 3rd race start that he won at last time out. Does he have more improvement to come?
Well, for have had only 3 starts or 4 starts, that indicates as more we go, as more often we go to the race, he should improve more. So I'm quite confident he's definitely going to improve and win more races in Hong Kong.
And the way that he was pulling away over the last 100 metres, is he a horse that you think will be better in time when he gets over a bit more ground?
I think so, but for the time being, I'm happy to just seeing him keep running over the 12.